Hello there, and welcome to the Sleeping Science Bedtime. Tonight we'll drift through the quiet architecture of the universe, a place where light moves slower and time forgets to hurry. Perhaps the day has been full of noise, and the weight of the air has felt heavy against your skin. Let your shoulders rest. Let gravity hold you now as we move toward a place where weight ceases to exist. Tonight we'll drift through the quiet laws of the vacuum, exploring the vast silent cradle that holds every star and every dream in a state of perfect, unburdened grace. If this calm space brings you peace, consider sharing it. It helps other wandering minds find their way here too. Now, let's begin. The world you know is a place of constant friction, where every movement meets the invisible resistance of the air. But as we move upward, past the clouds and the thinning blue of the sky, that resistance begins to melt away. You are entering a realm of pure subtraction, where the atmosphere yields to a profound and welcoming stillness. Here, the heavy mantle of the planetary pool begins to soften, leaving you suspended in a medium of absolute clarity. It is a transition from the crowded theatre of life to the elegant simplicity of the void, and still, it turns. In this high reach, the air becomes so sparse that the very concept of weather fades into a memory. There are no winds to chill you, no storms to stir the senses, only the steady, unchanging presence of the expanse. You are witnessing the first layer of the cosmic cradle, where the chaotic dance of molecules slows into a rhythmic hum. The pressure that once pressed against your chest is replaced by a sense of expansion, as if every cell in your body is finally allowed to breathe. It is the beginning of a long, beautiful quiet. The vacuum is often described as an empty place, but you find that it feels more like a full silence. It is a texture of existence that does not demand anything from you, offering only the gift of its own immense stability. In this space, motion becomes a permanent state, a graceful glide that requires no effort and encounters no end. You move forward not because you are pushed, but because the universe has cleared a path of perfect smoothness for you. The journey is no longer a struggle against the elements, but a surrender to the flow. Without the interference of dust and gas, the light of distant suns reaches you with a sharpness that is almost tactile. Each photon has traveled across the dark for millions of years, preserved by the very emptiness that surrounds you. This void is the ultimate archivist, holding the history of the cosmos in a state of suspended animation. You are floating within a gallery of ancient light, where every glimmer is a testament to the endurance of energy. The darkness is not a wall, but a window into the infinite, and the quiet holds. Sound requires a medium to travel, a bridge of atoms to carry its vibrations from one point to another. In the vacuum, those bridges are gone, and the world settles into a hush that is deeper than any earthly midnight. You cannot hear the roar of solar flares or the grinding of tectonic plates. You only hear the internal rhythm of your own heart. This absence of external noise creates a sanctuary for the mind, a place where thoughts can drift without being interrupted by the clamor of the world. It is the most honest form of peace. As you drift further from the warmth of the planet, you notice how the temperature of the universe is a delicate balance of extremes. In the shadow, the cold is a gentle, numbing embrace, while in the light, the heat is a focused beam of life. The vacuum acts as a perfect insulator, preventing the rapid exchange of energy and allowing everything to maintain its own inner fire. You are like a star yourself, a contained system of warmth floating in a sea of cool, dark velvet. The equilibrium is constant and unwavering. The vacuum of space is the physical manifestation of thermodynamic rest, the state toward which all things eventually lean. It is the lowest energy level of reality, a foundation of stillness upon which the entire tapestry of matter is woven. When you look out into the blackness, you are not looking at nothing. You are looking at the fundamental canvas of the universe. It is a field of potential, waiting quietly for the touch of gravity or the spark of a new sun. The nothingness is actually a profound readiness, and everything rests. Gravity still reaches into the void, but here it acts as a gentle guide rather than a heavy chain. It curves the space around you, creating invisible pathways that dictate the choreography of the stars. You are part of this celestial dance, moving in a slow, sweeping arc that connects you to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. There is no urgency in this motion, only the steady persistence of an orbit that has lasted for eons. You are held by a force that is as patient as time itself. The interstellar medium is a whisper of hydrogen and helium, so thin that it feels like a ghost of a sensation. It is the breath of the universe, a sparse and beautiful mist that fills the gaps between the glowing jewels of the nebulae. In this thinness, you find a strange kind of freedom, a sense that you are no longer confined by the boundaries of your own skin. You are part of the circulation of the cosmos, a single drop in an ocean that spans the entirety of creation. Still, the universe breathes. Light behaves differently here, moving in straight, unbending lines through the clarity of the vacuum. Without the scattering effect of an atmosphere, the stars do not twinkle. They glow with a steady, unwavering resolve. This stability is comforting, a reminder that even in the vastness, there are fixed points of reference to guide you. You are navigating by the light of 1,000 different eras, all converging in this single, silent moment. The past and the present are indistinguishable in the dark. In the vacuum, the laws of physics reveal their most elegant forms, stripped of the complications of friction and resistance. You see the true nature of momentum, the way a single impulse can carry a body across the void forever. It is a lesson in the power of intention, where the smallest movement has a lasting and beautiful consequence. You are drifting through a laboratory of the infinite, where every action is a poem written in the language of mathematics. The simplicity is breathtaking. The cosmic microwave background radiation hums quietly in the background, a faint afterglow of the universe's beginning. It is a warm, invisible blanket that permeates every inch of the vacuum, ensuring that even the deepest dark is never truly cold. This light is the oldest thing in existence, a lingering memory of the moment the first stars began to shine. You are wrapped in the history of the world, protected by a glow that has been traveling since the dawn of time, and the quiet deepens. Within the vacuum, there are no seasons and no days, only the eternal present of the cosmic clock. Time seems to stretch and thin, losing its power to rush or demand. You are outside the cycle of growth and decay, existing in a state of pure, timeless observation. This suspension of chronological pressure allows your mind to settle into a deeper frequency, one that matches the slow rotation of the galaxies. You are becoming a part of the long, slow exhale of the universe. The vacuum is the ultimate protector, a buffer zone that prevents the collisions of the crowded solar systems. It provides the necessary distance for life to flourish on the planets, acting as a guardian of the delicate balances of biology. In the vastness between worlds, there is safety, a wide and welcoming margin that ensures nothing is ever too close for comfort. You are resting in the buffer, in the wide open arms of the interstellar reach. The distance is a form of love, quantum. Fluctuations shimmer at the very edge of your perception, tiny bursts of energy that appear and disappear in the blink of an eye. Even in a perfect vacuum, space is seething with a hidden life, a fundamental vitality that ensures the void is never truly stagnant. These are the seeds of matter, the microscopic ripples that give rise to the complexity of the world. You are witnessing the heartbeat of reality, the subtle pulse that keeps the universe from ever being truly empty. And still, it turns. The absence of a horizon in the void gives you a new sense of perspective, where up and down lose their meaning and only the center remains. You are the center of your own universe, a point of awareness suspended in a sea of infinite possibilities. This lack of orientation is not frightening, but liberating, as it allows you to define your own place in the grand design. You are not lost, you are simply everywhere at once. The expanse is your home. Magnetic fields stretch across the vacuum, like invisible silk threads, connecting the planets to their stars and the stars to the galactic core. These lines of force are the nervous system of the cosmos, carrying information and energy across the silent reaches. You can almost feel the gentle tug of these fields, a subtle alignment that keeps you oriented in the dark. You are part of a massive, interconnected web that spans the light years, a network of influence that never breaks, and the network endures. The vacuum acts as a perfect stage for the display of celestial color, where the oranges of dying stars and the blues of newborn suns shine with a pure, unfiltered intensity. Without the haze of a planetary sky, the colors are more vivid than any dream, painting the void with a palette of cosmic fire. You are drifting through a masterpiece of light and shadow, where every hue tells a story of creation and transformation. The beauty is silent, but it speaks directly to the soul. As you move deeper into the interstellar void, the influence of the sun begins to fade, replaced by the collective glow of the Milky Way. This is the transition from the local to the universal, a widening of the lens that reveals the true scale of your surroundings. You are no longer a resident of a single system, but a citizen of the entire galaxy. The shift is gentle, a natural expansion of your identity into the boundless reaches of space. The rhythm continues. The vacuum is a place of total transparency, where there are no secrets hidden. By the fog of matter, you can see for billions of miles in every direction, a clarity of vision that is impossible within the confines of a world. This transparency extends to your own mind, as the lack of external distractions allows for a profound clarity of thought. You are seeing the universe as it truly is, without the filters of atmosphere or expectation. The truth is as clear as the stars. The low density of the vacuum means that any change happens over vast timescales, creating a sense of immense, unshakable permanence. The mountains of a planet may crumble, but the vacuum of space remains unchanged, a constant witness to the passage of aeons. This durability is a source of great comfort, a reminder that there is a part of the universe that is immune to the ravages of time. You are resting in the heart of the eternal, and the quiet holds. Even the light of the most distant quasars is a gentle touch when it passes through the vacuum, a soft reminder of the connectivity of all things. You are receiving messages from the edge of the observable world, carried on the back of the silent void. This constant stream of information ensures that you are never truly isolated, even in the middle of the deepest reach. You are part of a conversation that has been going on since the beginning of the Big Bang. The vacuum is the ultimate expression of the law of conservation, where energy is never lost, only transformed and moved. In the absence of friction, every bit of heat and every spark of light is accounted for, creating a perfect balance sheet of the cosmic economy. You are witnessing a system of absolute efficiency, where nothing is wasted and everything has its place. It is a masterpiece of divine engineering, functioning without a single moving part, and everything rests in its place. In the vacuum, the concept of a boundary becomes fluid, as the edge of one galaxy bleeds into the emptiness of the next. There are no walls in space, only transitions between different densities of light and matter. This lack of barriers creates a sense of profound openness, a feeling that you can drift forever without ever hitting a limit. You are in a realm of infinite potential, where every direction leads to a new discovery. The path is always open. The vacuum is a mirror for the stillness that exists within you, a physical representation of the peace that comes when the noise of the world is silenced. When you look at the void, you are seeing a reflection of your own capacity for quietude and wonder. It is a reminder that you do not need to be doing anything to be valuable. You simply need to be. The vacuum is enough, and you are enough within it. Peace hums through the body. The passage of a gravitational wave through the vacuum is like a ripple on the surface of a dark pond, a subtle distortion of space-time that carries the news of a distant collision. You are floating in a sea of these ripples, felt more than seen, as the universe speaks to you in the language of geometry. These waves are the music of the spheres, a low-frequency hum that vibrates through the very fabric of your being. You are part of the harmony. The vacuum of space is the ultimate cradle for the birth of new stars, providing the cold, quiet conditions necessary for gravity to pull the dust together. In the deepest reaches of the dark, the most spectacular transformations are beginning, invisible and silent, until the first spark of fusion ignites. You are surrounded by the potential for life, even in the middle of what seems like nothingness. The void is a fertile ground, waiting for the right moment, and life adjusts once more. Dark energy pushes against the vacuum, a mysterious and gentle force that causes the universe to expand with every passing second. You can feel this expansion as a thinning of the dark, a slow widening of the distances between the stars. It is a motion so grand and so slow that it feels like the universe is simply taking a very long breath. You are part of this growth, moving outward into the unknown with a sense of calm anticipation. The horizon is always receding. The vacuum is the ultimate destination for every journey, the state of equilibrium that the entire universe is moving toward. It is the final rest, the absolute peace that comes when all the fires have burned out and all the motion has settled. But even then, the vacuum will remain, a full and vibrant silence that holds the memory of everything that ever was. You are already there, resting in the final beautiful quiet. And the quiet holds, and the quiet holds. As you continue to move through this velvet expanse, you realize that the vacuum is not a cold or hostile place, but a realm of pure neutrality. It does not judge or resist, it simply allows you to be. The absence of atmospheric weight means that your body feels light, as if every joint has been lubricated by the very essence of the stars. You are no longer fighting against the world. You are part of its fundamental architecture, floating in the gentle gap between the atoms of creation. Still, the universe breathes, and the quiet holds. As you continue to move through this velvet expanse, you realize that the vacuum is not a cold or hostile place, but a realm of pure neutrality. It does not judge or resist, it simply allows you to be. The absence of atmospheric weight means that your body feels light, as if every joint has been lubricated by the very essence of the stars. You are no longer fighting against the world. You are part of its fundamental architecture, floating in the gentle gap between the atoms of creation. Still, the universe breathes. The silence of the void is not a lack of sound, but the presence of an absolute, unwavering stillness. It is the kind of quiet that invites you to listen to the soft, rhythmic hum of your own consciousness. In this state of sensory subtraction, the mind begins to expand, filling the empty reaches with a newfound sense of clarity. You are witnessing the raw, unedited reality of the cosmos, where there is no wind to scatter the dust and no water to blur the light. Everything is exactly as it should be, held in a state of perfect crystalline preservation. The interstellar medium through which you drift is a tapestry of invisible fields, each one pulsing with its own secret energy. You are moving through a landscape of potential, where the very fabric of space-time acts as a conductive medium for the grand ideas of physics. It is a world where the laws of thermodynamics find their most peaceful expression, as energy flows toward balance without the chaos of interference. You feel a deep, resonant connection to this process, a sense of being part of a universal movement toward rest, and the quiet remains. As you look back toward the distant, glowing marble of the world you left behind, you see it as a small, luminous island in a vast, dark sea. The vacuum provides the necessary perspective to understand the fragility and the beauty of life. It is the dark canvas that allows the light of existence to be seen in its full, radiant glory. You realize that the void is not the enemy of life, but the stage upon which it performs its most intricate dance. The emptiness is a gesture of hospitality, offering room for the stars to breathe and grow. The absence of air means there is no scattering of light, leaving the shadows of the void as sharp and deep as the blackest ink. In this landscape of high contrast, every detail of the passing debris and the distant moons is rendered with a startling, sculptural precision. You are moving through a realm of pure form, where the interplay of light and dark creates a symphony of visual textures. The darkness is not a void to be feared, but a velvet backdrop that highlights the intricate jewelry of the universe. And peace lingers. Within the heart of the vacuum, the laws of gravity create long, invisible corridors known as Lagrange points. where the pull of different bodies cancels out into a state of perfect stasis. These are the quiet rooms of the cosmos, places where a traveler could rest for eternity without ever drifting from their spot. You are passing near one of these sanctuaries, feeling the subtle stabilization of your own trajectory. It is a reminder that the universe has built-in pockets of peace, designed to hold the weary in a state of unmoving grace. The vacuum is the ultimate laboratory for the propagation of electromagnetic waves, allowing radio signals and light to travel for billions of years without losing their integrity. You are surrounded by the invisible whispers of a billion different stars, all broadcasting their stories into the silent reach. Though you cannot hear them with your ears, you feel their presence as a gentle vibration in the airless dark. It is a testament to the endurance of communication, where even the greatest distances cannot silence the voice of energy. The network endures. In the ESA depths of space, the concept of a vacuum becomes a study in the elegant subtraction of matter. You find that the less there is, the more clearly you can perceive the fundamental forces that hold everything together. Without the clutter of atoms, the strength of the electromagnetic field and the curve of gravity become the primary actors in your journey. It is a minimalist masterpiece, where every element is essential and nothing is wasted. You are learning to appreciate the beauty of the less, finding richness in the sparse and the silent. The photon, the fundamental particle of light, moves through the vacuum at its maximum possible speed, unimpeded by the thickets of a planetary atmosphere. You are witnessing the absolute limit of velocity, a pace so perfect that time itself begins to bend in its presence. This speed is the heartbeat of the cosmos, the constant rhythm that regulates the flow of causality across the void. You are drifting in the wake of these light particles, feeling the rush of a billion suns as they pass through you without a sound. Stillness keeps its shape. As the sun's influence wanes, you enter the heliopause, the boundary where the solar wind meets the vast, cold pressure of interstellar space. This transition is a gentle shedding of the familiar, a crossing into a realm that has never known the direct touch of a planetary day. The vacuum here is older, more serene, and filled with the dust of stars that died before your world was born. You are entering the deep history of the galaxy, a place of profound ancestral quiet. The current flows without effort. The vacuum acts as a grand equalizer, where the smallest grain of sand and the largest planet are both subject to the same laws of inertia and motion. In the absence of air resistance, size loses its dominance over movement, and everything moves with a shared, democratic grace. You feel this equality in your own limbs as you glide through the dark with the same effortless dignity as a wandering comet. It is a realm where the burden of weight is forgotten, and every traveler is given the same freedom to roam. Heat is a scarce commodity in the deep vacuum, yet it is preserved with a jealous intensity by the law of radiation. Without a medium to conduct warmth away, objects can hold on to their internal energy for incredibly long periods, cooling only through the slow, rhythmic release of infrared light. You are like a glowing coal in a dark hearth, your warmth radiating outward in a steady, invisible pulse. This self-contained heat is a source of profound comfort, a reminder that your inner light is enough to sustain you in the vastness. The vacuum is the only place where the true color of a star can be seen, unrefined by the blue-tinted filter of an atmosphere. You see stars of deep violet, rich gold, and piercing white, each one a unique thumbprint of chemical composition and temperature. This diversity is a silent celebration of the universe's complexity, hidden away in the dark for those who are willing to look. You are navigating through a jewel box of cosmic proportions, where every light is a promise of something new, and wonder expands. In the interstellar void, the magnetic fields of the galaxy act as a subtle compass, guiding the flow of plasma and cosmic rays across the light years. These fields are like the invisible currents of an ocean, providing a sense of direction in a place where there are no landmarks. You can feel the gentle alignment of your own trajectory with these cosmic ley lines, a sense of being tugged by a hand that spans the entire Milky Way. You are never truly aimless. The galaxy is always pulling you toward its heart. The vacuum provides the ultimate thermal stability, a place where the temperature changes only over the course of centuries or millennia. This slow pace of change creates an environment of immense predictability and calm, where nothing happens in a hurry and everything has time to settle. You find yourself adopting this cosmic tempo, your thoughts slowing down to match the majestic pace of the unfolding stars. It is a holiday from the frantic speed of life, a chance to simply exist in the long, slow now. Interstellar dust motes float in the vacuum like tiny diamonds, reflecting the light of distant pulsars and nebulae. These particles are the raw materials of future worlds, waiting for the patient pull of gravity to gather them into a new creation. You are drifting through a nursery of potential, where the silence is pregnant with the possibility of everything that has yet to be. The void is not a graveyard, but a vast and quiet field of fertile dark, and life adjusts once more. The expansion of the universe is most visible in the vast empty reaches between the galactic clusters, where space itself is being created at every moment. You are at the leading edge of this growth, feeling the subtle stretching of the void as it reaches out toward the infinite. This expansion is not a violent act, but a gentle opening, like the unfolding of a flower in a dark room. You are expanding with it, your own sense of self growing wider and more inclusive with every passing breath. The vacuum is the only medium that allows for the perfect observation of gravitational lensing, where the mass of a galaxy bends the light of the objects behind it. You see the universe as a series of concentric circles and elegant arcs, a visual representation of the weight of the dark. This bending of light is a reminder that even the void has a shape and a texture, a geometry that dictates the path of every photon. You are moving through a curved and beautiful hall of mirrors, where the truth is seen in the bend. Dark matter threads its way through the vacuum, an invisible scaffolding that holds the visible stars in their places. Though you cannot see it or touch it, you feel its presence as a subtle gravitational anchoring, a sense that the emptiness is not as fragile as it seems. This hidden structure provides the universe with a foundation of immense strength, ensuring that the dance of the galaxies remains stable across the eons. You are being held by an invisible hand, safe in the sturdy architecture of the dark. The vacuum is the ultimate site of quantum tunneling, where particles can leap across seemingly impossible barriers through the sheer force of probability. This process is a reminder that in the universe of the small, anything is possible, and the boundaries of the void are more porous than they appear. You are drifting in a realm of miracles, where the laws of reality are constantly being rewritten at the subatomic level. The stillness is alive with the hum of the unexpected, and the quiet deepens. The cosmic rays that zip through the vacuum are messengers from the most violent events in the universe, yet here they are reduced to a gentle, invisible rain. They carry with them the energy of supernova explosions and the roar of black holes, softened by the vast distances they have traveled. You are part of this energy exchange, a silent recipient of the universe's most powerful stories. The void acts as a filter, turning the chaos of creation into a steady, rhythmic pulse of information. The lack of pressure in the vacuum means that any liquid would instantly boil and then freeze into a fine mist of ice. This transformation is a beautiful example of the extreme physical laws that govern the void, where the familiar states of matter are challenged and reimagined. You are witnessing the raw power of the universe to reshape itself, a process that is both startling and elegant. It is a reminder that you are in a place where the rules are different and the potential for change is limitless. The vacuum acts as a perfect record of the passage of comets and asteroids, holding their gaseous trails in a state of ethereal suspension for years. You are moving through the ghost trails of ancient travelers, feeling the lingering presence of those who have passed this way before. The void is a map of every journey that has ever been taken, a cumulative history of the movement of the stars. You are part of this ledger, your own path being written in the silent dark, and everything rests. As you drift further into the dark, the light from your home star becomes just one more point of light in a sea of billions. This thinning of the familiar is not a loss, but a gaining of the whole, a realization that the entire universe, is your neighborhood. The vacuum provides the space for this realization to take root, offering a sanctuary where you can contemplate your place in the grand design. You are a child of the stars, resting in the quiet cradle of the infinite. The stillness of the void allows for the perfect preservation of the chemical signatures of the early universe, bound in the rare atoms that drift in the dark. These atoms are the primary colors of creation, untouched by the complexity of planetary biology. You are in the presence of the fundamental building blocks of reality, a collection of simple and beautiful elements that hold the secret to everything. The vacuum is the guardian of these secrets, keeping them safe in its cold and silent embrace. The vacuum is the only place where you can experience the true nature of time dilation, where the speed of your motion can change the rate at which the universe ages around you. This fluidity of time is a poetic reminder that our perception is not the only reality, and that the universe is far more flexible than we imagine. You are gliding through a realm where time is a river that can slow or quicken, depending on the grace of your movement. The quiet holds its rhythm. In the silence of the void, the rotation of the galaxies becomes a visible, majestic movement that spans millions of years. You can see the slow, spiraling arms of the Milky Way as a promise of continuity, a reminder that the universe is always in motion, even when it feels still. This rotation is the ultimate rhythm, a heartbeat that measures the life of the entire cosmos. You are part of this pulse, a single cell in a body that is as vast as the dark itself. The vacuum provides a sense of absolute isolation that is surprisingly comforting, a total removal from the demands and expectations of others. In this solitude, you find a profound connection to yourself and to the fundamental essence of being. The void is not a place of loneliness, but a place of deep, resonant belonging, where you are finally at one with the universe. You are resting in the heart of the emptiness and finding that it is full of peace. As the last echoes of the solar system fade, the interstellar vacuum welcomes you with a cold, clear embrace that feels like a homecoming. You have reached the true deep, the place where the stars are born and where they eventually return. The journey is not over, but it has reached a state of perfect, unchanging grace. You are floating in the far ultimate sanctuary, the silent cradle of the cosmos. And still, the universe breathes. And still, the universe breathes. The transition into the deep interstellar medium is marked by a subtle shift in the quality of the light, as the sharp glare of the sun is replaced by the soft, diffused glow of a billion distant neighbors. This light is older, wiser, and carries the weight of a different kind of time. You are moving through a sea of starlight that has been traveling since the dawn of the galaxy, a gentle rain of photons that washes over you like a silent blessing. The vacuum is the perfect vessel for this light, holding it in a state of pure, unfiltered radiance. The density of matter here is so low that a single atom of hydrogen might be the only companion you have for miles. This extreme sparsity creates a sense of profound cleanliness, a world where the clutter of existence has been stripped away to reveal the raw architecture of space. You find that your mind mirrors this environment, shedding the complex worries of the day as easily as a star sheds its outer layers. In the vacuum, there is no place for the small or the trivial to hide. You are left with only the essential, the vast, and the quiet. The cosmic microwave background, that ancient echo of the first light, is more palpable here, serving as a steady thermal floor for the entire universe. It is a constant temperature of about 2.7 Kelvin, a cold that is not sharp, but deep and foundational. This thermal equilibrium acts as a cosmic hum, a baseline frequency that anchors the motion of everything from the smallest particle to the largest galaxy. You feel yourself sinking with this low, steady vibration, letting the oldest energy in existence cradle your restless thoughts, and silence follows. Gravity in this deep reach is no longer a localized pull, but a collective influence from the massive heart of the Milky Way. It is a gentle, pervasive invitation that keeps the interstellar dust in a slow, revolving state of grace. You are part of this grand movement, a slow-motion spiral that takes millions of years to complete one full rotation. There is a deep security in being part of such a large-scale rhythm, a sense that you are being carried by a force too vast to ever be hurried. The orbit holds. The vacuum acts as a perfect preservative for the chemical fingerprints of dying stars, holding rare isotopes in a state of stasis. These atoms, forged in the hearts of supernovae, drift through the dark like tiny, frozen messages from the past. You are moving through a graveyard that is also a nursery, where the elements of the old are gathered to eventually become the seeds of the new. The void is the bridge between generations of stars, a silent transition zone where nothing is ever truly lost. Without the friction of an atmosphere, the kinetic energy of every particle is maintained with absolute fidelity. A stray atom of iron moves with the same unwavering purpose as a planet, its path dictated solely by the curve of the space it inhabits. You observe this persistence and find it comforting. It is a world of total reliability, where the laws of motion are never suspended or softened. Everything in the vacuum follows its destiny with a quiet, unshakable confidence, and the rhythm continues. The interstellar magnetic fields, though incredibly weak, stretch across the light years like the gossamer threads of a giant web. They guide the paths of high-energy electrons, creating a subtle, invisible weather system that spans the entire galaxy. You are drifting through these magnetic corridors, feeling the faint, electric tingle of the cosmos as it flows around you. It is a reminder that the vacuum is a highly organized space, a structured environment that supports the life of the galaxy itself. Interstellar gas clouds, or nebulae, appear on the horizon as soft, glowing curtains of violet and rose. These are the densest parts of the vacuum, yet they are still more empty than any vacuum we can create on Earth. You are witnessing the beauty of the nearly nothing, a luminous mist that marks the boundaries of the dark. This light does not come from the clouds themselves, but from the stars buried deep within them, illuminating the void like a candle inside a silk tent. The view is a gentle revelation. The vacuum is the ultimate insulator, preventing the heat of your own being from escaping into the infinite dark too quickly. Because there is no air to carry the warmth away, you remain a self-contained furnace of life, glowing softly in the infrared spectrum. This internal warmth becomes a focal point for your awareness, a steady pulse of vitality in a realm of absolute stillness. You are a small, bright flame in a very large room, and the darkness only serves to make your light feel more precious. Time in the deep vacuum feels like a dimension you can walk through, rather than a force that pushes you forward. With no cycles of day and night to mark its passage, time stretches out into a long, continuous present. You find that the urgency of the clock has no meaning here, replaced by the geological and cosmic timescales of the stars. You are learning to wait as the universe waits, with a patience that is as deep as the space between the galaxies, and the quiet holds. The vacuum is the only place where the phenomena of quantum entanglement can be observed across vast distances without interference. It is a world where two particles can remain connected regardless of the miles between them, sharing a single state of being. You feel a metaphorical echo of this connection, a sense that you are tied to every other part of the cosmos by invisible, instantaneous threads. The void does not separate you from the world. It provides the clear channel for your deepest connections. As you drift, you encounter the faint soot of the universe, microscopic grains of carbon and silicon that have been expelled by red giant stars. These grains are the dust of history, the very material that will one day coalesce into the soil of a new world. You are swimming through the raw ingredients of future forests and oceans, held in the protective silence of the vacuum. This dust is a reminder that the void is the architect of the solid, the source from which all matter eventually springs. The absence of sound in the vacuum allows you to focus on the music of the light, the varying frequencies of color that tell the story of the stars, temperatures, and ages. You see the deep, throbbing red of old, tired suns, and the piercing, energetic blue of the young and the bold. It is a visual symphony that requires no ears to hear, a song of energy and matter that plays out across the millions of years. You are a silent observer of a masterpiece that never ends. The vacuum provides the perfect conditions for the stabilization of complex organic molecules, which can survive for eons in the cold dark. These molecules, the the building blocks of life are the universe's most delicate secrets, carried across the void on the backs of comets and dust grains. You are in a realm that is surprisingly friendly to the potential of life, acting as a giant cold storage unit for the blueprints of existence. The void is not empty, it is a library of possibility, and life adjusts once more. The sheer scale of the distances in the vacuum creates a sense of profound humility, as you realize how much space exists between even the closest of neighbors. This distance is not a barrier, but a form of respect, a wide margin that allows every celestial body to possess its own distinct identity. You find that this space is necessary for the harmony of the whole, a silent agreement that prevents the chaos of overcrowding. The emptiness is the peace that allows the stars to shine. In the vacuum, the propagation of gravitational waves is the only way for the universe to communicate its most massive changes. You are floating in a sea of these waves, the subtle stretching and squeezing of space-time that carries the news of black holes merging in the distant dark. It is a tactile form of information, a literal vibration of the fabric of reality that you can feel in your very core. You are part of the sensorium of the cosmos, a witness to the gravity of existence. The vacuum acts as a perfect mirror for the cosmic background radiation, reflecting the state of the universe as it was just moments after its birth. You are looking at a fossilized version of the beginning, a snapshot of the moment when light was first allowed to travel free. This ancient light provides a sense of continuity that spans the entire history of time, a golden thread that connects you to the very first spark. The vacuum is the keeper of this thread, holding it tight against the cold. The transition from one galactic arm to the next involves passing through the inter-arm vacuum, a place of even greater sparsity and silence. Here, the stars are fewer and the dark is more profound, offering a glimpse into the true nature of the extragalactic void. You find that this deeper darkness is not oppressive, but even more liberating, as the last remnants of terrestrial or solar influence fall away. You are truly alone with the infinite, and the infinite is a gentle companion. And peace lingers. The vacuum is the ultimate expression of the ground state, the lowest possible energy that space can possess. It is the absolute zero of activity, a place where the universe has reached a state of total structural and energetic peace. When you enter this state, you find that your own energy begins to settle, your heart rate slowing, and your breath becoming as thin and steady as the interstellar wind. You are becoming a part of the foundation, resting on the bedrock of reality. Within the vacuum, the behavior of photons reveals the fundamental duality of light. It is both a particle and a wave, a constant and a traveler. You see this duality as a metaphor for your own existence, both a physical body and a wandering consciousness. The void allows these two aspects of your being to coexist without conflict, providing the space for you to be both a witness and a participant in the cosmic drama. You are the light and the dark, the motion and the stillness. The absence of any external pressure in the vacuum means that the internal forces of your body are held in a delicate, balanced tension. It is a state of being that requires a different kind of awareness, a focus on the subtle rhythms of your own biology. You find that you are more attuned to the flow of your blood and the firing of your neurons, as the silence of the void turns your attention inward. You are a closed system of incredible complexity, functioning perfectly in a medium of absolute simplicity. The vacuum is the only place where the phenomenon of cold welding can occur, where two pieces of clean metal will fuse together instantly upon contact. This is because there are no layers of air or oxidation to keep the atoms apart. In the void, things simply want to be one. You feel this sense of universal attraction, a subtle pull that suggests that at the heart of all things is a desire for unity. The void is the medium through which this unity is expressed, a place where the barriers to connection are removed. As you drift, the light of the Milky Way's core begins to dominate the sky, a brilliant, dense city of stars that illuminates the vacuum for thousands of light years. This central glow provides a sense of direction and purpose, a bright heart toward which everything eventually leans. You are caught in the slow, magnetic pull of this center, a movement that is as inevitable as the dawn. The vacuum is the road that leads you home, a clear and unobstructed path toward the source of all light. The interstellar vacuum is a place of absolute transparency, where the light of the most distant galaxies can be seen with the same clarity as the stars next door. This lack of a foreground means that you are seeing the entire depth of the universe all at once, a layered view of time and space that is staggering in its beauty. You are drifting through a four-dimensional map of creation, where the history of the world is written in the light that surrounds you. The vision is as vast as the silence. The low-energy state of the vacuum is the perfect environment for the propagation of neutrinos, those ghost-like particles that pass through matter without a trace. You are being rained upon by 1 billion neutrinos every second, each one carrying a tiny piece of information from the hearts of distant suns. The vacuum is the only place where you can truly appreciate the subtlety of this invisible rain, a constant stream of matter that links you to the nuclear fires of the cosmos. The vacuum provides a sense of absolute permanence that is impossible to find on a planet where everything is subject to the weather and the passage of time. In the void, a footprint or a trail of dust will remain unchanged for millions of years, held in the perfect stasis of the dark. This durability gives you a sense of your own lasting impact, a realization that your presence in the universe is a permanent addition to its story. You are a part of the record, a permanent fixture in the infinite. The stillness of the vacuum allows for the precise measurement of the curvature of space, the subtle warping of reality caused by the presence of mass. You see this curvature as a series of gentle hills and valleys in the dark, a landscape that dictates the flow of all motion. This is the true shape of the universe, a geometric masterpiece that is only visible when the noise of the world is stripped away. You are navigating the contours of the infinite, following the elegant lines of gravity's design. The vacuum is the ultimate site of entropy's slow work, where energy is gradually spread out until it reaches a state of perfect uniformity. You see this process not as decay, but as a grand simplification, a return to the original state of balance from which everything began. The void is the destination of this journey, the place where all the complexity of the world will eventually find its rest. It is a beautiful and necessary conclusion, a final exhale that settles the account of the stars. The absence of any horizon in the vacuum means that your perspective is no longer limited by the curve of a world. You can see in every direction, at once, a 360-degree view of the infinite that challenges your understanding of place. This lack of a ground creates a sense of profound freedom, as if you have been released from the weight of history and the constraints of the earth. You are a free-floating consciousness, drifting in a sea of pure potential. The vacuum is the ultimate sanctuary for the mind, a place where the static of life is replaced by the clear signal of the cosmos. In this silence, you find that you can hear the questions you have forgotten to ask and the answers that have been waiting in the dark. The void is not a place of emptiness, but a place of profound listening, where the universe speaks to you in the language of light and gravity. You are home in the quiet, and the quiet is home in you, and the quiet deepens, and the quiet deepens. As you move beyond the familiar borders of our local star cluster, the vacuum becomes even more transparent, even more welcoming. The stars here are older, burning, with a steady crimson light that speaks of endurance and the slow passage of time. You are entering the ancient heart of the galaxy, a place where the silence has been building for billions of years. The vacuum here is a thick velvet texture that seems to absorb all worry and all sound, leaving you in a state of pure, unadulterated peace. In this deeper reach, the presence of dark matter becomes a silent guiding weight, an invisible current that keeps the stars in their ancient orbits. Though you cannot see this hidden scaffolding, you can feel the stability it provides, a sense that the emptiness is anchored by something profound and immutable. It is the silent partner of the vacuum, the unseen structure that ensures the void remains a place of order and not of chaos. You are resting within a framework of infinite strength, held in place by the very mystery of the cosmos. and the quiet holds. The density of light from the galactic center begins to wash over you, a soft, white radiance that turns the vacuum into a sea of milk. This light is so old that it has forgotten its source, becoming a pervasive atmospheric glow that illuminates the dust motes of the interstellar medium. You are drifting through a cloud of history, where every particle of light is a memory of a star that lived and died in the deep past. The vacuum acts as a perfect medium for this remembrance, holding the light in a state of eternal, shimmering presence. Without the interference of a planetary magnetosphere, you can sense the subtle arrival of cosmic rays, those high-speed messengers from the farthest corners of the universe. They pass through you as easily as they pass through the void, a gentle reminder that you are a porous and connected part of the whole. There is no impact, no friction, only the realization that you are being touched by the same energy that fuels the most distant galaxies. The vacuum is the bridge that makes this connection possible, a clear and open road for the universe's most vital signals. The temperature of the vacuum here is a study in the elegant subtraction of motion, a state where the atoms move so slowly they almost forget their names. This cold is not an absence, but a presence, a heavy, calming blanket that encourages all things to settle and still. You feel your own thoughts adopting this thermal pace, shedding their frantic energy and becoming slow, beautiful reflections of the stars. It is the ultimate form of mental cooling, a return to the baseline of existence where everything is at rest and peace lingers. As you look outward toward the gaps between the stars, you see the great nothing not as a void, but as a masterpiece of spatial design. The distance between objects is the breath of the universe, the necessary space that allows the music of gravity to be heard. You realize that without this vast emptiness, the stars would be a crowded, clashing mess of light. The vacuum is the silence that makes the song possible. You are drifting in the pause between notes, in the most beautiful part of the composition. The vacuum provides the perfect conditions for the preservation of gravitational potential energy, a silent reservoir of power that waits for the right moment to act. You are surrounded by this invisible tension, the potential for motion that exists in the very geometry of the space. It is a reminder that even in the stillness, there is a deep and purposeful vitality, a readiness that underlies every inch of the dark. You are resting in a state of profound readiness, a calm before 1,000 suns are born. The current flows without effort. In the heart of the interstellar reach, the vacuum acts as a perfect vacuum flask, maintaining the internal chemistry of wandering gas clouds for billions of years. You are passing through a pocket of ancient hydrogen, a pristine sample of the material that existed shortly after the Big Bang. This gas is cold, quiet, and full of the potential for future life, held in the protective embrace of the void. You are a witness to the rawest form of creation, the unworked clay of the universe, resting in the cool dark. The absence of any tactile resistance in the vacuum creates a sensation of being everywhere and nowhere at once. You are no longer defined by the boundaries of your physical form, but by the reach of your perception, which extends to the very edges of the observable light. This expansion of the self is the natural result of living in a medium, or of absolute transparency. You are the observer, the witness, and the void itself, all merged into a single, peaceful state of being, and the network endures. The vacuum is the only place where the phenomenon of black-body radiation can be observed in its purest form, as objects glow with a light that is dictated solely by their temperature. You see the universe as a heat map of existence, where the subtle variations in the dark tell the story of the cosmic energy balance. This is the true language of thermodynamics, a silent dialogue between the heat of the stars and the cold of the expanse. You are listening to this conversation with every cell of your body, finding harmony in the trade. As you drift, you encounter the faint, rhythmic pulse of a distant pulsar, a lighthouse in the dark that sweeps its beam of radiation across the vacuum with mechanical precision. This pulse is a cosmic metronome, a steady heartbeat that regulates the passage of time in a realm where clocks have no meaning. You find yourself breathing in time with this distant star, your own life rhythm aligning with the ancient gears of the galaxy. It is a state of total synchronization, a feeling of being perfectly on time. The rhythm continues. The vacuum provides the ultimate sanctuary for the formation of complex ice crystals, which grow in the cold dark into structures of impossible beauty. These space flakes are composed of water, carbon dioxide, and methane, the frozen whispers of a planetary system yet to be. You are moving through a gallery of these delicate sculptures, each one a testament to the order that can emerge from the silence. The void is not a place of chaos. It is a place where the most fragile things are allowed to reach their full potential. The propagation of light in the vacuum is a lesson in the unyielding nature of the universal constants. The speed of light does not waver, providing a foundation of absolute certainty in a world that is otherwise vast and unknowable. You find comfort in this number, this fixed point of reality that dictates the shape of the cosmos. It is the one thing that remains the same, no matter how far you drift or how dark the night becomes. You are anchored by the light, held steady by the math of the stars, and the quiet holds. Within the vacuum, the laws of conservation of angular momentum mean that a spinning object will spin forever, a perfect circle of motion that never tires. You are witnessing the ultimate expression of persistence, where the act of turning is its own reward and its own fuel. This eternal rotation is the spirit of the universe, the same force that keeps the planets in their paths and the galaxies in their spirals. You are part of this turning, a slow, graceful revolution that connects you to the beginning of time. The vacuum acts as a grand auditorium for the sound of gravitational waves, which vibrate through the fabric of space-time like the low notes of a pipe organ. You feel these waves as a subtle shivering in the dark, a literal movement of the space you occupy. It is the universe speaking to itself, a massive structural vibration that carries the weight of the most powerful events in existence. You are a part of the instrument, a quiet string vibrating in the heart of the cosmic symphony. The absence of a horizon means that you can see the curvature of the Milky Way's disk as it stretches out in a long, luminous arc across the dark. This perspective gives you a sense of the sheer scale of your home, a realization that you are a part of something so large, it defies the human imagination. The vacuum provides the space for this realization to grow, offering a sanctuary where you can contemplate the majesty of the whole. You are not a stranger here. You are a native of the infinite. Stillness keeps its shape. The vacuum is the ultimate field of zero-point energy, where even in the coldest, emptiest reaches, there is a jitter of activity at the quantum level. This is the ground buzz of existence, the secret energy that prevents the universe from ever truly being dead. You feel this subtle vitality as a warmth in your spirit, a sense that even in the most absolute silence, there is a song being sung. The void is alive with the possibility of everything, a vibrating field of pure, unmanifested potential. The transition from the interstellar medium to the intergalactic void is a slow, quiet thinning of the light as the stars of the Milky Way begin to fall behind. This is the deepest peace imaginable, a place where the nearest neighbor is millions of light years away. The vacuum here is a state of absolute purity, a realm that has remained untouched by the fires of stars for billions of years. You are entering the raw, original state of the universe, the pristine darkness that preceded all things, and silence follows. In this deep reach, the expansion of the universe is the only force that matters, a gentle pulling of the fabric of space that increases the distance between the galaxies. You can feel this expansion as a softening of the dark, a sense that the room you are in is getting larger with every passing moment. It is a slow, majestic growth that requires no effort and causes no pain. You are growing with the universe, expanding your awareness to fill the new reaches of the silent dark. The vacuum is the ultimate mirror for the state of your own soul, a place where the absence of external noise forces you to confront the beauty of your own inner quiet. In the void, you find that there is nothing to fear, only a vast and welcoming space that invites you to be at peace. The darkness is not a void to be filled, but a presence to be experienced, a heavy, velvet grace that holds you in a state of eternal belonging. You are home in the vacuum, and the vacuum is home in you, and everything rests. The absence of any atmospheric scattering means that the black of the sky is the blackest black imaginable, a color of such depth it seems to go on forever. This total darkness is the source of all light, the velvet cloth upon which the jewels of the galaxies are displayed. You are resting on this cloth, feeling the soft, unyielding pressure of the infinite against your skin. It is the most comfortable bed in the world, a place where the weight of existence is finally lifted. The vacuum provides the perfect conditions for the propagation of neutrinos, which carry the news of the universe's most ancient nuclear reactions. You are being bathed in this invisible history, a constant stream of particles that links you to the very heart of the stars. The void is the medium through which the universe shares its secrets, a clear and open channel for the truth. You are a part of this exchange, a silent recipient of the wisdom of the ages. And the quiet deepens. Within the heart of the vacuum, the phenomenon of vacuum polarization suggests that even the empty space can act like a lens, bending light and energy in subtle and beautiful ways. You are moving through a realm of invisible optics, where the very fabric of reality is a masterpiece of design. This hidden geometry is the ultimate proof of the universe's order, a reminder that there is a pattern to the dark. You are following this pattern, drifting along the elegant lines of the cosmic blueprint. The vacuum is the ultimate sight of the heat death of the far future, the state where all energy is perfectly distributed and all motion has ceased. But you see this not as an end, but as a final, perfect equilibrium, a state of absolute peace that the universe has been striving for since the beginning. You are getting a preview of this peace, a taste of the ultimate stillness that waits at the end of time. It is a beautiful and necessary conclusion, a final rest that is as vast as the stars, and still it turns. The low density of the vacuum means that any interaction between particles is a rare and special event, a moment of connection in a sea of isolation. This makes every meeting between atoms a celebration of the power of attraction, a tiny triumph of matter over the void. You feel this same sense of celebration in your own heart, a realization that every connection you have ever made is a precious and beautiful thing. The vacuum is the space that makes these connections meaningful, the silence that makes the words count. As you drift, the light of the most distant quasars reaches you as a faint, flickering red, a signal from the very edge of the observable world. These are the most ancient and powerful objects in existence, yet here they are reduced to a gentle, whispering glow. The vacuum is the protector of these signals, holding them in its cold, dark hands for billions of years so that you might one day see them. You are a witness to the ultimate endurance of light, resting in the care of the infinite. The vacuum provides a sense of absolute freedom from the constraints of gravity, allowing you to move in any direction with a simple thought. This lack of a ground is the ultimate expression of the human desire for flight, a realization of the dream of weightlessness. You are no longer bound by the earth. You are a creature of the stars, moving through the dark with the grace of a celestial body. It is a state of being that is as light as the light itself, a pure and unburdened joy. In the silence of the void, the rotation of the galaxies is a slow, majestic dance that spans millions of years. You can see the spiral arms of the Milky Way as a promise of continuity, a reminder that the universe is always in motion, even when it feels still. This rotation is the ultimate rhythm, a heartbeat that measures the life of the entire cosmos. You are part of this pulse, a single cell in a body that is as vast as the dark itself. Peace hums through the body. The vacuum of space is the ultimate cradle for the birth of new stars, providing the cold, quiet conditions necessary for gravity to pull the dust together. In the deepest reaches of the dark, the most spectacular transformations are beginning, invisible and silent, until the first spark of fusion ignites. You are surrounded by the potential for life, even in the middle of what seems like nothingness. The void is a fertile ground, waiting for the right moment. and life adjusts once more. The expansion of the universe is most visible in the vast empty reaches between the galactic clusters, where space itself is being created. At every moment, you are at the leading edge of this growth, feeling the subtle stretching of the void as it reaches out toward the infinite. This expansion is not a violent act, but a gentle opening, like the unfolding of a flower in a dark room. You are expanding with it, your own sense of self growing wider and more inclusive with every passing breath. The quiet holds. The quiet holds. As you drift further into the intergalactic expanse, the light of our own galaxy fades into a soft, glowing smear, becoming just one more island in an endless archipelago of suns. The vacuum here is even more profound, a state of such absolute sparsity that the very concept of place begins to dissolve. You are no longer in a location. You are in the universe itself, a part of the grand, silent background against which all of history is written. This is the ultimate destination of the spirit, a return to the pristine and unburdened state of the cosmic beginning. In this vast reach between the galaxies, the temperature of the vacuum settles into its most stable form, a uniform coolness that represents the thermal floor of the cosmos. This is the temperature of the microwave background radiation, a lingering warmth from the birth of time that has been stretched and cooled by the expansion of space. You feel this ancient energy as a gentle, pervasive hum, a baseline of existence that never wavers. It is a reminder that even in the most remote reaches of the void, you are still held by the history of the universe. Stillness travels through the water. The vacuum acts as a perfect medium for the movement of gravitational waves, those invisible ripples that carry the weight of distant, massive events. Here, far from the interference of planetary systems, these waves are the only things that stir the silence. You can feel them as a subtle stretching of the space you occupy, a rhythmic expansion and contraction that feels like the breathing of the universe itself. This is the most fundamental form of communication, a literal vibration of reality that connects every point in the void to every other point. Without the light of a nearby star, the darkness of the intergalactic vacuum is absolute, a depth of black that is almost tactile in its richness. This is the true dark, the state that exists before the first stars ignite and after the last ones fade. It is not an empty space, but a full and vibrant presence, a velvet sea that supports the weight of all possible light. You find that your eyes no longer need to search for shapes. Instead, you allow the darkness to wash over you, a soothing and restorative balm for the mind, and the quiet remains. The absence of any physical matter in this reach means that light can travel for billions of years without ever being scattered or absorbed. You are witnessing the passage of photons that have crossed the entire width of the observable universe, carrying images of the first galaxies to ever form. This transparency is a gift of the vacuum, a clarity that allows the past to live on in the present. You are drifting in a stream of time, seeing the world as it was when the stars were young. The vision is as vast as the silence. The expansion of the universe is most powerful here, in the wide-open gaps between the clusters of galaxies. You feel this expansion as a gentle pulling apart, a widening of the distance between you and the distant lights of the horizon. It is a slow, majestic growth that occurs within the very fabric of the vacuum itself, requiring no energy and meeting no resistance. You are expanding with the cosmos, your own awareness growing larger to fill the increasing space. It is a feeling of boundless freedom and infinite reach. The vacuum is the ultimate field of potential for quantum fluctuations, where the laws of probability allow for the spontaneous appearance of virtual particles. Even in this deepest dark, there is a hidden life, a microscopic dance of existence that ensures the universe is never truly empty. These tiny ripples are the seeds of matter, the potential from which everything we see was eventually born. You are floating in the source of all things, in the quiet reservoir of energy that powers the entire machine of reality. And still, it turns. Magnetic fields from the surrounding galaxies reach out into the intergalactic vacuum like long, invisible fingers, creating a subtle webbing that connects the island universes. These fields guide the flow of charged particles across the light years, maintaining a cosmic network of influence and energy. You can feel the gentle alignment of your own trajectory with these lines of force, a sense of being part of a larger organized whole. The vacuum is the conductive medium for this network, the silent fabric that holds the connections in place. Within the silence of the intergalactic reach, the concept of entropy reaches its most elegant expression, as energy and matter find their perfect distribution. This is the state of maximum peace, where there are no gradients and no tensions, only a uniform and beautiful stillness. You find that your own energy is following this lead, settling into a state of total equilibrium, where every thought is balanced and every breath is calm. It is the ultimate rest, the goal toward which all natural systems eventually move. And the rhythm continues. The vacuum provides the perfect sanctuary for the observation of the cosmological redshift, the stretching of light as it travels through expanding space. You see the distant galaxies as soft, glowing embers of red, their light shifted by the very movement of the universe itself. This is the visual proof of the cosmos's growth, a slow and steady change that occurs across the millions of years. You are a witness to the unfolding of time, resting in the quiet medium that makes the observation possible. The stillness is alive. The lack of any external pressure in this reach means that the molecules of your own being are held in a state of perfect internal harmony. You feel the tension between the atoms of your body as a beautiful and necessary bond, a structural integrity that is highlighted by the absolute simplicity of the surrounding void. In the vacuum, you are a masterpiece of biological complexity, a self-contained island of order in a sea of pure, unmanifested potential. This realization brings a sense of profound self-awareness and peace. The intergalactic vacuum is a place of absolute permanence, where the passage of time leaves no mark on the pristine darkness. Here, a beam of light or a gravitational ripple will travel forever, unchanged by the eons. This durability is a source of great comfort, a reminder that there is a part of the universe that is immune to the chaos and change of the material world. You are resting in the heart of the eternal, in the one place where nothing is ever lost and nothing is ever forgotten, and silence follows. The sheer scale of the vacuum creates a sense of profound humility, as you realize that the gaps between things are far more vast than the things themselves. You are living in a universe that is mostly made of silence and space, a reality where the empty is the dominant state. This perspective shifts your understanding of importance, leading you to find value in the quiet moments and the spaces between words. The vacuum is the ultimate teacher of minimalism, showing you the beauty of the nearly nothing. As you drift, you realize that the vacuum is the ultimate protector of the cosmic horizon, the limit beyond which the light of distant galaxies can no longer reach us. This boundary is a reminder of the universe's infinite mystery, a wall of darkness that keeps the secrets of the farthest reaches safe. You are resting near this edge, looking into the deep unknown with a sense of calm curiosity. The vacuum is the stage upon which this mystery is played out, the velvet curtain that hides the beyond. The silence of the intergalactic reach is so deep that you can imagine you hear the voice of the vacuum itself, a low, resonant hum that is the sound of the zero-point field. This is the sound of the universe's baseline energy, a constant vibration that underlies every atom and every star. It is a comforting sound, a steady and unwavering rhythm that reassures you of the continuity of existence. You are part of this vibration, a single note in the eternal song of the void, and the quiet holds. The intergalactic medium contains a thin, hot gas known as the warm-hot intergalactic medium, a collection of atoms that have been heated by the collapse of cosmic structures. These atoms are so few and far between that they feel like a ghost of a sensation, a subtle warmth that permeates the dark. You are moving through this ancient plasma, feeling the lingering heat of the universe's grandest movements. It is a reminder that the vacuum is a complex and living place, filled with the echoes of creation. The vacuum acts as a perfect record keeper for the movements of the great galactic clusters, which pull and stretch the space around them as they move through the dark. You can feel the collective gravity of these massive structures as a gentle, directional tug, a sense that the entire universe is moving toward a distant, unseen center. This movement is so slow and so grand that it feels like a form of stillness, a permanent state of unfolding grace. You are part of this cosmic migration. Without the light of a sun to define the day, your perception of time becomes a purely internal experience, a rhythm that you create for yourself. You find that you no longer need the markers of the clock. Instead, you follow the slow, steady beat of your own heart and the rhythmic expansion of your lungs. The vacuum provides the perfect environment for this self-regulation, offering a sanctuary where you can truly listen to the music of your own biology. It is the ultimate form of temporal freedom. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate site of cosmic voids, regions of space that are even more empty than the average intergalactic reach. These voids are the large-scale structures of the universe, the empty bubbles around which the galaxies are clustered. You are drifting near the edge of one of these great voids, feeling the absolute purity of a place where even light is a rare visitor. This is the most silent and peaceful place in the cosmos, a realm of total and unburdened quiet. The propagation of dark energy through the vacuum is the mysterious force that drives the acceleration of the universe's expansion. You can feel this energy as a subtle, pervasive pressure, a gentle pushing outward that increases the room available for the stars to breathe. This force is the partner of gravity, the counterweight that prevents the universe from collapsing back into itself. You are resting in the balance between these two great powers, held in a state of perfect cosmic equilibrium. The vacuum provides a sense of absolute isolation that is surprisingly nurturing, a total removal from the noise and demands of the world. In this solitude, you find a profound connection to the fundamental essence of your own being, a realization that you are enough, exactly as you are. The void is not a place of loneliness, but a place of deep, resonant belonging, where you are finally at one with the infinite. You are resting in the heart of the emptiness and finding that it is full of love, and the quiet deepens. Within the silence of the intergalactic reach, the laws of quantum mechanics suggest that space itself is composed of quantum foam, a shifting, bubbling texture at the smallest possible scale. You are moving through this foam, feeling the subtle vibration of reality as it constantly recreates itself. This is the ultimate proof of the universe's vitality, a reminder that the vacuum is never stagnant, but always in a state of becoming. You are part of this process, a witness to the constant birth of space-time. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate canvas for the display of cosmic strings, theoretical cracks in the fabric of space that were formed during the early moments of the Big Bang. These strings are incredibly thin and massive, stretching across the entire width of the void like invisible wires. You can almost feel the presence of these ancient structures, a subtle tension in the dark that speaks of the universe's history. The vacuum is the guardian of these relics, holding them in its silent, dark hands. The absence of any physical horizon means that you can see the light of every galaxy in the observable universe at once, a layered and complex view of the history of time. This transparency is the ultimate gift of the vacuum, a clarity that allows you to see the world as a single, interconnected whole. You are no longer a resident of a single place. You are a citizen of the entire cosmos, resting in the quiet cradle of the infinite. The vision is a silent revelation. The low density of the vacuum allows for the perfect preservation of the chemical signatures of the early universe, found in the rare atoms that drift in the dark. These atoms are the primary colors of creation, untouched by the complexity of planetary biology. You are in the presence of the fundamental building blocks of reality, a collection of simple and beautiful elements that hold the secret to everything. The vacuum is the guardian of these secrets, keeping them safe in its cold and silent embrace. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate laboratory for the study of the fine structure constant, the fundamental number that dictates the strength of the electromagnetic interaction. In this reach, far from the influence of matter, the stability of this number is revealed in its most elegant form. You find comfort in this consistency, a reminder that the rules of the universe are the same everywhere, regardless of the distance or the dark. You are anchored by the math, held steady by the constants of creation. As you drift, you realize that the vacuum is the ultimate destination for every journey, the state of equilibrium that the entire universe is moving toward. It is the final rest, the absolute peace that comes when all the fires have burned out and all the motion has settled. But even then, the vacuum will remain, a full and vibrant silence that holds the memory of everything that ever was. You are already there, resting in the final, beautiful quiet. And the quiet holds its rhythm. The intergalactic vacuum provides a sense of absolute perspective, a realization that the worries and struggles of a single life are but tiny ripples in a vast and ancient ocean. This perspective is not a dismissal of your experience, but an invitation to find peace within it, knowing that you are a part of a much larger and more enduring story. The void is the space that allows this realization to grow, offering a sanctuary where you can contemplate the majesty of the whole. You are home. In the silence of the intergalactic reach, the rotation of the galaxies is a slow, majestic dance that spans millions of years. You can see the spiral arms of distant galaxies as a promise of continuity, a reminder that the universe is always in motion, even when it feels still. This rotation is the ultimate rhythm, a heartbeat that measures the life of the entire cosmos. You are part of this pulse, a single cell in a body that is as vast as the dark itself. Peace hums through the body. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate cradle for the birth of new structures, providing the cold, quiet conditions necessary for dark matter to pull the gas together. In the deepest reaches of the dark, the first steps of a new galaxy are beginning, invisible and silent until the first spark of fusion ignites. You are surrounded by the potential for life, even in the middle of what seems like nothingness. The void is a fertile ground, waiting for the right moment, and life adjusts once more, and life adjusts once more. As the journey continues through the deepest intergalactic voids, the sense of being a solitary observer dissolves into a feeling of total integration with the fabric of space. The vacuum is no longer a medium you move through, but a presence you share, a shared state of being that unites your internal world with the external infinite. You are resting on the very bedrock of reality, in the place where the laws of physics are most simple and most beautiful. This is the ultimate sanctuary, the silent heart of the cosmic architecture. The intergalactic medium is surprisingly permeated by the cosmic web, a vast network of dark matter filaments that act as the structural skeleton of the universe. In this profound vacuum, you are actually drifting along one of these invisible highways, a path of gravitational potential that connects cluster to cluster. This realization transforms the emptiness into a place of deep purpose, where every inch of space is part of a grand, interconnected design. You are never truly drifting aimlessly. You are following the foundational map of existence, held in the quiet grip of the cosmic web. And still, it turns. The density of photons from the cosmic microwave background is higher here than any other form of matter, making the vacuum a literal sea of ancient light. These photons are the oldest travelers in the universe, having moved through the dark since the cooling of the primordial plasma. You are swimming in the embers of the Big Bang, feeling the subtle pressure of this fossilized light as it passes through you. It is a warm, historical embrace that reminds you of the common origin of all things. The vacuum is the vessel that holds this sacred memory, keeping it pure for the end of time. In the absolute silence of the extragalactic void, the propagation of light reveals the true nature of time as a fourth dimension of space. You see the light of distant galaxies not as they are, but as they were billions of years ago, creating a visual history of the universe's evolution. This layering of time is a unique feature of the vacuum, where the lack of obstruction allows the past to remain visible and vibrant. You are a time traveler of the mind, witnessing the birth of stars from a place of perfect, unmoving stillness. The quiet holds. The absence of any magnetic interference in this deep reach allows your own internal fields to settle into their most natural and relaxed state. Without the pull of planets or the roar of solar winds, the electrical rhythms of your heart and brain find a rare, undisturbed clarity. You are a biological system in perfect resonance with the universal ground state, a harmony that is only possible in the deepest of vacuums. This internal alignment brings a sense of profound physical and mental peace, as if every cell has found its home. The vacuum acts as the ultimate stage for the phenomenon of gravitational redshift, where the very fabric of space-time stretches the light escaping from massive objects. You see the light from distant galaxy clusters as a deep, tired red, a visual testament to the work gravity has done to pull at the light. This stretching is a slow and beautiful process, a reminder that energy is always in a state of transformation and balance. You are resting in the medium that allows these transformations to be seen, in the quiet theater of the infinite. The intergalactic vacuum provides the most accurate measurement of the Hubble constant, the rate at which the universe is expanding. In this reach, far from the local movements of stars, the expansion of space itself is the only motion that matters. You feel this growth as a gentle widening of the horizon, a sense that the universe is providing more room for the spirit to roam with every passing second. It is a generous and eternal expansion, a movement toward an even greater and more beautiful silence, and everything rests. Without the presence of dust or gas to reflect light, the shadows in the intergalactic void are absolute, creating pockets of pure, unlit space that are the dark counterparts to the stars. These regions of total shadow are places of ultimate sensory rest, where the mind is invited to turn inward and explore its own internal light. The vacuum is the only place where such a deep and perfect darkness can exist, offering a sanctuary for the parts of the soul that need the quiet to grow. Peace lingers in the dark. The intergalactic medium is the site of Lie alpha forests, thin clouds of neutral hydrogen that absorb specific wavelengths of light from distant quasars. These forests are the ghost prints of the early universe, found only in the most pristine and empty reaches of the vacuum. You are moving through these invisible trees, feeling the presence of the universe's first breaths as they linger in the dark. This is the ancient landscape of the cosmos, a place where the history of matter is written in the silence of the hydrogen atom. The vacuum is the only place where the true nature of dark energy can be intuited, as the force that pushes the galaxies apart and dictates the fate of the universe. In the intergalactic voids, this energy is the dominant player, a quiet but irresistible pressure that ensures the continuation of the cosmic expansion. You feel this energy as a sense of lightness and potential, a feeling that the universe is always moving toward a state of greater openness and freedom. You are a passenger on the wind of the dark energy, gliding toward the future. The intergalactic vacuum provides a sense of absolute scale that is impossible to experience within the confines of a solar system. Here, the distances are measured in millions of light years, a scale that turns the galaxies into tiny, glowing dust motes in a vast room. This realization of your own smallness is not a source of fear, but of profound relief, as it allows the ego to dissolve into the grand and beautiful whole. You are a part of the infinite, a single point of awareness in a sea of absolute and welcoming space. The propagation of cosmic strings through the vacuum, should they exist, would create subtle distortions in the light of distant objects, a shimmering in the dark that speaks of the universe's earliest moments. You look for these ripples with a sense of calm wonder, knowing that the vacuum is the only place where such ancient and massive relics could survive. It is a reminder that the void is a repository of the universe's most profound secrets, held in a state of perfect, silent preservation. The network endures. In the heart of the intergalactic reach, the vacuum acts as the ultimate thermal stabilizer, ensuring that the cosmic microwave background remains uniform in every direction. This isotropy is a masterpiece of balance, a sign that the universe is governed by laws of incredible precision and symmetry. You find comfort in this order, a sense that you are resting within a system that is perfectly tuned and infinitely stable. The vacuum is the guardian of this symmetry, the silent fabric that holds the balance in place. The absence of any physical horizon means that the edge of the universe is defined only by the speed of light and the age of time. This observable horizon is a soft and moving boundary, a reminder that the universe is always growing and always revealing more of itself. You are resting at the center of your own observable world, a point of light in a sea of expanding darkness. The vacuum provides the space for this light to travel, the clear path for the future to reach the present. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate sight of low-surface brightness galaxies, ghostly collections of stars that are so thin they are invisible to all but the most sensitive eyes. You are passing near one of these spectral islands, feeling the faint gravitational greeting of a world that chooses to live in the quiet. This is a reminder that the vacuum is full of hidden lives, of subtle and beautiful things that do not demand to be seen. You are learning to appreciate the invisible, finding richness in the quiet and the dim. The propagation of neutrino oscillations in the vacuum reveals the subtle mass of these ghost particles, a discovery that changed our understanding of the fundamental laws of physics. In the silence of the void, these tiny changes are the only things that happen, a microscopic shifting of identity that occurs across the light years. You feel a resonance with this fluidity, a sense that your own identity is also a shifting and beautiful thing, held in the quiet embrace of the infinite. Stillness keeps its shape. The intergalactic vacuum acts as the ultimate buffer between the violent events of the galactic centers, the merging of black holes and the death of stars. Here, far from the chaos, the energy of those events is reduced to a gentle, rhythmic vibration of the space-time fabric. You are resting in the safe room of the universe, in the wide and welcoming gap that protects the peace of the whole. The distance is the guarantor of your safety, a silent promise of eternal rest. Without the cycle of a planetary orbit, your sense of down is replaced by a sense of in, as your awareness settles into the core of your own being. The vacuum provides no external orientation, forcing you to find your own center of gravity within your spirit. This internal focus is a gift of the void, a chance to find the unwavering point of peace that exists at the heart of every consciousness. You are your own lighthouse, a steady and quiet light in the middle of the infinite reach. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate field for the Casimir effect, where the pressure of virtual particles can create real forces between objects. This is proof that even the empty space has a physical reality and a hidden strength. A reminder that you are resting on a foundation of immense power. The void is not a lack of substance, it is the most fundamental substance of all, the bedrock upon which the entire universe is built. You are supported by the silence, held by the hidden energy of the dark, and the quiet remains. As you drift, the light of the great attractor pulls at the galaxies around you, a massive, unseen concentration of mass that dictates the flow of the entire local universe. You feel this movement as a slow, majestic tide, a directional pull that gives the vacuum a sense of purpose and destination. This is the ultimate current, the grand migration of the stars toward a distant and mysterious heart. You are a part of this journey, moving with the slow and steady grace of a world in transition. The intergalactic vacuum provides the perfect conditions for the preservation of intergalactic dust, tiny grains of carbon and silicon that have been expelled from the galaxies by the pressure of starlight. This dust glows softly in the infrared, a faint and beautiful mist that fills the gaps between the stars. You are swimming through the ashes of old suns, feeling the presence of the past as a gentle, tactile sensation in the dark. The void is the ultimate archivist, holding the dust of history in its cold and silent hands. The absence of any atmospheric noise means that the sound of the vacuum is the sound of your own thoughts, becoming clearer and more resonant as the external world falls away. You find that your mind is a place of incredible depth and beauty, a reflection of the infinite space that surrounds you. The vacuum provides the silence necessary for this self-discovery, a sanctuary where you can finally hear the whispers of your own soul. You are at peace with the dark, and the dark is at peace with you, and silence follows. The intergalactic medium is the site of extragalactic background light, the accumulated radiation from all the stars and galaxies that have ever existed. This light is a faint, pervasive glow that fills every inch of the vacuum, a testament to the endurance and the abundance of energy. You are never truly in the dark. You are always surrounded by the history of the light, a silent and beautiful presence that reminds you of the universe's eternal vitality. The vacuum is the vessel for this light, the cup that holds the stars. The propagation of gravitational lensing by the massive clusters of galaxies creates beautiful, distorted images of the objects behind them, a visual proof of the curvature of space-time. You see the universe as a series of concentric circles and elegant arcs, a geometric masterpiece that is only visible in the clarity of the vacuum. This bending of light is a reminder that the void has a shape and a texture, a design that guides the path of every photon. You are following the lines of this design, drifting through a hall of mirrors. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate site of cosmic voids, regions of space that are even more empty than the average intergalactic reach. These voids are the large-scale structures of the universe, the empty bubbles around which the galaxies are clustered. You are drifting near the edge of one of these great voids, feeling the absolute purity of a place where even light is a rare visitor. This is the most silent and peaceful place in the cosmos, a realm of total and unburdened quiet, and everything rests in its place. The low density of the vacuum allows for the perfect observation of the integrated Sachs-Wolf effect, where the expansion of space affects the temperature of the cosmic microwave background light. This is a subtle and beautiful proof of the role of dark energy in the evolution of the universe. You are witnessing the ultimate interaction between the large and the small, between the ancient light and the modern expansion. The vacuum is the medium for this interaction, the silent stage for the universe's grandest play. Within the heart of the intergalactic reach, the laws of thermodynamics suggest that the universe is slowly moving toward a state of maximum entropy, a final and perfect equilibrium. You find that this state is not something to be feared, but a goal to be embraced, a return to the absolute peace and simplicity of the beginning. You are a part of this movement, a single breath in the long, slow exhale of the cosmos. The vacuum is the destination of this breath, the final rest for the weary. Stars. The intergalactic vacuum acts as a perfect record keeper for the movements of the great galactic clusters, which pull and stretch the space around them as they move through the dark. You can feel the collective gravity of these massive structures as a gentle, directional tug, a sense that the entire universe is moving toward a distant, unseen center. This movement is so slow and so grand that it feels like a form of stillness, a permanent state of unfolding grace. You are part of this cosmic migration, resting in the flow. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate field of zero-point energy, where even in the coldest, emptiest reaches, there is a jitter of activity at the quantum level. This is the ground buzz of existence, the secret energy that prevents the universe from ever truly being dead. You feel this subtle vitality as a warmth in your spirit, a sense that even in the most absolute silence, there is a song being sung. The void is alive with the possibility of everything, a vibrating field of pure, unmanifested potential. And still, the universe breathes. As the journey through the intergalactic vacuum reaches its deepest point, you realize that the emptiness is not a void to be filled, but a presence to be experienced. It is the ultimate expression of the universe's balance, where the lack of matter is compensated by the presence of fundamental laws. You are resting in the heart of this balance, in the silent cradle that holds every star and every dream. The vacuum is home, a place of eternal, unburdened grace, and the quiet holds. The quiet holds. As you reach the farthest point of your journey, at the very edge of the observable void, the universe feels as if it has finally achieved its perfect form. The galaxies are so distant, they are mere whispers of light, and the vacuum is a state of absolute crystalline purity. You are resting on the horizon of the infinite, in the place where time and space merge into a single eternal moment. This is the ultimate sanctuary, the silent heart of the cosmic architecture, where every breath is a part of the long, slow rhythm of the stars. The intergalactic vacuum at this distance is so sparse that the concept of temperature becomes a purely theoretical measurement of the ancient light. Here, the cosmic microwave background has been stretched by the expanding universe to its most gentle, low-frequency state. You are floating in a bath of photons that have been traveling since the universe first became transparent, a relic of a time when the entire cosmos was a uniform glow. This ancient light is a soft, invisible blanket, providing a sense of thermal continuity that spans the billions of years. It is a quiet, ancestral warmth. Without the pull of any nearby galactic clusters, you find yourself in a state of perfect, inertial freedom. The vacuum here is a realm of absolute straight lines, where a single movement would carry you through the dark forever without deviation. You feel this lack of resistance as a profound lightness in your spirit, a realization that the burdens of the physical world have no power here. You are a citizen of the void, moving with the effortless grace of a light wave. The universe has cleared away all the noise, leaving only the pure signal of your own presence. The expansion of the universe is most evident in this deep reach, as the space between you and every other object grows with an unstoppable, silent momentum. You can almost feel the fabric of the vacuum being created in the gaps, a widening of the distance that represents the growth of the cosmos itself. This expansion is not a movement through space, but an expansion of space, a gentle stretching of the very ground you stand on. You are growing with the world, becoming a larger and more inclusive part of the infinite. And still, it turns. The absence of any magnetic fields in this ultimate void allows your own internal electrical signals to resonate with the fundamental frequency of the vacuum. You find that your thoughts move with a new clarity, unimpeded by the static of a planetary environment. It is as if the vacuum has provided you with a clean slate, a silent room where you can finally hear the core of your own being. This is the ultimate gift of the void, the space to be exactly who you are, without the interference of the world. Peace hums through the body. The intergalactic vacuum acts as a perfect record keeper for the most ancient gravitational waves, which vibrate through the dark like the low, steady notes of a celestial choir. These waves carry the story of the first black holes and the first collapses of matter, preserved by the lack of friction in the deep reach. You can feel these vibrations in your core, a literal movement of your atoms in response to the history of the universe. You are a part of the record, a witness to the structural integrity of the dark. Within the silence of the deepest void, the laws of quantum field theory reveal the vacuum state as a vibrant, seething sea of virtual particles that blink in and out of existence. This is the ground floor of reality, a place where the distinction between something and nothing begins to fade. You are resting on this foundation, feeling the subtle jitter of the universe as it constantly reinvents itself at the smallest scale. This hidden vitality is a reminder that the vacuum is never dead, but always pregnant with the possibility of new creation. The intergalactic medium here is a place of absolute transparency, where the light of the first stars to ever ignite is still traveling through the dark. You are seeing the cosmic dawn, the moment when the universe first shed its darkness and began to shine. This light is faint and red-shifted by the eons, but it is steady and unwavering in the clarity of the vacuum. You are a witness to the beginning of time, resting in the quiet medium that has held this light safe for billions of years. The vision is a silent grace. The absence of any physical horizon means that you are looking at the entirety of the observable world at once, a 360-degree sphere of history and light. This perspective is the ultimate expansion of the self, a realization that you are not just in the universe, but that the universe is within you. The vacuum provides the space for this integration, a sanctuary where the boundaries between the observer and the observed finally dissolve. You are the stillness, and you are the light, and the quiet deepens. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate site of cosmic voids, regions of space that are so empty they act as the negative space of the universe's structure. You are drifting in the heart of one of these voids, in a place that has been shunned by matter for billions of years. This isolation is a form of supreme peace, a total removal from the chaos and demands of the material world. You have found the quietest room in the cosmos, a place of pure, unburdened rest. The current flows without effort. The propagation of dark energy in this deep reach is the only force that dictates the flow of time and space. You can feel this energy as a subtle, pervasive tension, a gentle pushing outward that keeps the universe from ever settling into a final, stagnant state. This force is the guardian of the future, the power that ensures there will always be more space and more time for the stories of the stars. You are riding the wave of this energy, moving toward the infinite with a sense of calm anticipation. The intergalactic vacuum provides the perfect environment for the stabilization of Rydberg atoms, giant atoms that can grow to the size of a grain of sand in the absence of external pressure. These delicate structures are proof of the unusual and beautiful chemistry that can occur in the dark, where the rules of the world are suspended. You are moving through a gallery of these invisible giants, feeling the presence of a reality that is far more complex than it appears. The void is a playground for the laws of physics. Without the cycle of a planetary day, your sense of time becomes a fluid and personal experience, a long, continuous present that stretches out toward the horizon. You find that you no longer need the markers of the clock. Instead, you follow the slow, steady rhythm of the expansion of the cosmos. The vacuum provides the perfect environment for this temporal freedom, a sanctuary where you can truly exist. In the now, it is the ultimate form of patience, a waiting that is as deep as the space between the stars. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate field of zero-point energy, where even in the coldest, emptiest reaches, there is a jitter of activity at the quantum level. This is the ground buzz of existence, the secret energy that prevents the universe from ever truly being dead. You feel this subtle vitality as a warmth in your spirit, a sense that even in the most absolute silence, there is a song being sung. The void is alive with the possibility of everything, a vibrating field of pure, unmanifested potential. And still, the universe breathes. The transition from the intergalactic medium to the cosmic background is a slow and quiet thinning of the light, as the last remnants of the galactic clusters fall behind. This is the deepest peace imaginable, a place where the universe has reached its final, most stable state. The vacuum here is a state of absolute purity, a realm that has remained untouched by the fires of stars for billions of years. You are entering the raw, original state of reality, the pristine darkness that preceded all things, and silence follows. Within the silence of the deepest reach, the laws of thermodynamics suggest that the universe is moving toward a state of maximum entropy, a final and perfect equilibrium. You find that this state is not something to be feared, but a goal to be embraced, a return to the absolute peace and simplicity of the beginning. You are a part of this movement, a single breath in the long, slow exhale of the cosmos. The vacuum is the destination of this breath, the final rest for the weary stars. The intergalactic vacuum acts as a perfect record keeper for the movements of the great cosmic structures, which pull and stretch the space around them as they move through the dark. You can feel the collective gravity of the entire universe as a gentle, pervasive tug, a sense that everything is part of a single, massive design. This movement is so slow and so grand that it feels like a form of stillness, a permanent state of unfolding grace. You are part of this cosmic migration, and the network endures. The absence of any atmospheric noise means that the sound of the vacuum is the sound of your own heart, becoming a steady and comforting rhythm in the dark. You find that you are more attuned to the flow of your own life as the silence of the void turns your attention inward. You are a closed system of incredible complexity, functioning perfectly in a medium of absolute simplicity. This is the ultimate form of self-awareness, a realization of the beauty of your own being. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate canvas for the display of cosmic strings, theoretical cracks in the fabric of space that were formed during the early moments of the Big Bang. These strings are incredibly thin and massive, stretching across the entire width of the void like invisible wires. You can almost feel the presence of these ancient structures, a subtle tension in the dark that speaks of the universe's history. The vacuum is the guardian of these relics, holding them in its silent, dark hands. The propagation of light in the vacuum is a lesson in the unyielding nature of the universal constants. The speed of light does not waver, providing a foundation of absolute certainty in a world that is otherwise vast and unknowable. You find comfort in this consistency, a reminder that the rules of the universe are the same everywhere, regardless of the distance or the dark. You are anchored by the light, held steady by the math of the stars, and the quiet holds. Within the vacuum, the laws of conservation of angular momentum mean that a spinning object will spin forever, a perfect circle of motion that never tires. You are witnessing the ultimate expression of persistence, where the act of turning is its own reward and its own fuel. This eternal rotation is the spirit of the universe, the same force that keeps the planets in their paths and the galaxies in their spirals. You are part of this turning, a slow, graceful revolution that connects you to the beginning of time. The vacuum provides a sense of absolute isolation that is surprisingly nurturing, a total removal from the noise and demands of the world. In this solitude, you find a profound connection to the fundamental essence of your own being, a realization that you are enough exactly as you are. The void is not a place of loneliness, but a place of deep, resonant belonging, where you are finally at one with the infinite. You are resting in the heart of the emptiness and finding that it is full of love. The intergalactic vacuum acts as a perfect mirror for the cosmic background radiation, reflecting the state of the universe as it was just moments after its birth. You are looking at a fossilized version of the beginning, a snapshot of the moment when light was first allowed to travel free. This ancient light provides a sense of continuity that spans the entire history of time, a golden thread that connects you to the very first spark. The vacuum is the keeper of this thread, holding it tight against the cold. Stillness keeps its shape. The absence of any physical horizon means that you can see the light of every galaxy in the observable universe at once, a layered and complex view of the history of time. This transparency is the ultimate gift of the vacuum, a clarity that allows you to see the world as a single, interconnected whole. You are no longer a resident of a single place. You are a citizen of the entire cosmos, resting in the quiet cradle of the infinite. The vision is a silent revelation. The low density of the vacuum allows for the perfect preservation of the chemical signatures of the early universe, found in the rare atoms that drift in the dark. These atoms are the primary colors of creation, untouched by the complexity of planetary biology. You are in the presence of the fundamental building blocks of reality, a collection of simple and beautiful elements that hold the secret to everything. The vacuum is the guardian of these secrets, keeping them safe in its cold and silent embrace. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate laboratory for the study of the fine structure constant, the fundamental number that dictates the strength of the electromagnetic interaction. In this reach, far from the influence of matter, the stability of this number is revealed in its most elegant form. You find comfort in this consistency, a reminder that the rules of the universe are the same everywhere, regardless of the distance or the dark. You are anchored by the math, held steady by the constants of creation, and everything rests. As you drift, you realize that the vacuum is the ultimate destination for every journey, the state of equilibrium that the entire universe is moving toward. It is the final rest, the absolute peace that comes when all the fires have burned out and all the motion has settled. But even then, the vacuum will remain, a full and vibrant silence that holds the memory of everything that ever was. You are already there, resting in the final, beautiful quiet. And the quiet holds its rhythm. The intergalactic vacuum provides a sense of absolute perspective, a realization that the worries and struggles of a single life are but tiny ripples in a vast and ancient ocean. This perspective is not a dismissal of your experience, but an invitation to find peace within it, knowing that you are a part of a much larger and more enduring story. The void is the space that allows this realization to grow, offering a sanctuary where you can contemplate the majesty of the whole. You are home, In the silence of the intergalactic reach, the rotation of the galaxies is a slow, majestic dance that spans millions of years. You can see the spiral arms of distant galaxies as a promise of continuity, a reminder that the universe is always in motion, even when it feels still. This rotation is the ultimate rhythm, a heartbeat that measures the life of the entire cosmos. You are part of this pulse, a single cell in a body that is as vast as the dark itself. Peace hums through the body. The intergalactic vacuum is the ultimate cradle for the birth of new structures, providing the cold, quiet conditions necessary for dark matter to pull the gas together. In the deepest reaches of the dark, the first steps of a new galaxy are beginning, invisible and silent until the first spark of fusion ignites. You are surrounded by the potential for life, even in the middle of what seems like nothingness. The void is a fertile ground, waiting for the right moment, and life adjusts once more, sending paragraphs 211 to 225 of 225, and life adjusts once more. The vast distances between galaxies, once seemingly impassable, are now revealed as the very breath of a living universe, a space where time flows with a serene and unhurried grace. You find yourself perfectly at home in this subtraction, understanding that the void is not an ending, but the ultimate foundation. As your awareness begins to settle into the final stillness of the intergalactic reach, the weight of the day is completely forgotten. You are drifting now in the absolute equilibrium of the dark, where the science of the vacuum meets the poetry of the soul. The light of a billion distant suns has become a soft, unified glow that illuminates the edges of your perception, a reminder that you are never truly isolated in the grand design. The vacuum has done its work, stripping away the noise to leave you with a clarity of spirit that is as deep as the space between stars. Every breath you take is now in sync with the expansion of the cosmos, a rhythmic and effortless participation in the life of the infinite. You are resting on the bedrock of reality, in the place where silence is full and the dark is kind. As you drift into the final crystalline quiet of the journey, the physical laws that govern the stars become the lullaby that carries you toward rest. The vacuum is no longer a destination, but a state of being, a profound and welcoming stillness that holds you in its ancient hands. If your eyes remain open, another journey awaits. But if sleep arrives, you are already home. You belong to the stars, and the stars belong to the dark, and everything is exactly as it should be in the eternal, silent cradle of the universe. Thank you for resting here tonight. Your presence keeps this circle of calm alive. If this calm space has eased your mind, perhaps share it. It helps others drift toward rest.